Okay, we had a little technical difficulty there to start off, but let's get going. It's January 15th, folks, 2026. We got a massive slate of sports stories today. Let's begin with a potential blockbuster coaching move in the NFL. We've been talking all week about where is John Harbaugh going to go. Well, as we expected, he is headed to New York, and he will be the next head coach of the New York Giants. I know the Big Blue fans are very happy about that, as well they should be. John is exactly what the franchise needs at this point in time, and that's basically stability. You know, uh, it's a seismic move. There's no question about it. John spent 16 years in Baltimore. He won a Super Bowl. He reached multiple AFC championship games. He built a reputation as one of the most stable and respected leaders in the entire league. His teams were always physical, always disciplined, and always competitive, even in the years when the rosters were banged up. In case of point, this season, they were one kick away from making it to the playoffs. Now, what's that mean for Giants fans, right? Well, he's the kind of hire that resets the franchise. They've been searching for an identity and consistency and even credibility for years. Harbaugh brings all three of those. He knows how to build a team. He knows how to put together a strong coaching staff. He develops young players very well, and he creates a culture that players like to buy into. So, what's the big question now is what about Harbaugh and, what's going to happen with Jackson Dart? How does this work out? Okay. Harbaugh has worked with every type of quarterback from your typical pocket passer in Joe Flacco to your plug and play run guy, Lamar Jackson. He's an RPO guy. He's shown that he can adapt his system to the talents. And here's another thing to look out for. It looks like Todd Monken, who for the last 2 years has been Harbaugh's offensive coordinator in Baltimore, is going to take that position with the Giants. Now, again, all of this is at the moment in negotiations. They're working together to try to get a contract done, first for John and then for adding, Todd Monken to that list. So I think if you're a Giants fan, you have to really be quite pleased with getting Harbaugh, who that's the guy you wanted, and he's bringing along with him somebody who could easily work with Jackson Dart, and saw Jackson Dart, frankly, when Jackson Dart was in college, because Todd Monken was the offensive coordinator at Georgia when they won national championships. So we will see what goes on with Big Blue, and I'm sure that Giants fans are happy. Now let's shift the field to the weekend playoff matchups. Now in the AFC, we got a mix of familiar faces and rising challengers. We got veteran quarterbacks who've been there before and are trying to hold off the wave of young talent hungry to break through. Now, one of those matchups in particular is one we really want to take a look at, and that is the Buffalo Bills on the road against the Denver Broncos. That's Saturday. It's a 4:30 game. And you've got, of course, Bo Nix, the young gunslinger out there in Denver, who has played amazing this year. It's his second year. He's had two really good seasons. So it's going to be interesting from that standpoint. Now, on the other side, we have Josh Allen for the Bills. Josh, as we know, has been on the cusp a couple of times of leading the Bills to the Super Bowl. This may be his best chance to do it. And so we've got the young Bronco in, as I said, in Bo Nix versus the seasoned professional postseason guy in Josh Allen. Should be a fun storyline. Next up, Texans Patriots. Now, of course, the Patriots have played well. The Texans defense, I think what they proved in Pittsburgh last Monday night was they are an absolute and total machine. they could give the Patriots trouble. And frankly, on the road, even though it's in Foxborough, even though it's going to be cool, I'm guessing that that's going to be a tough game for the Patriots to get by. If they can get by that game, um, Mike Grable should be very, very happy. So Texans and Patriots, that game is Sunday, the 18th at 3 p.m. The 49ers and the Seahawks is going to be a rematch of a battle that we saw a couple weeks ago where the Seahawks blew out the 49ers. One thing we can tell you, it's going to be loud in Seattle. We know that. However, Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers of adapting after they've lost. Now they've seen the season come in here knowing what they have to do to win and give the Seahawks every bit of a battle. Better games of night. Taking on Caleb Williams and the Bears. Now that's going to be a really fun matchup. The Bears defense, I don't think the Bears defense can stop the Rams. Conversely, I do think the Rams defense can stop the Bears. Now, the Rams have had a little bit of trouble on the road this year. Okay, there's no question about that. Ask about Carolina. They snuck by Carolina last week. The Bears have been a fourth quarter team. If you recall, they were down 21 points in their game last week against the Green Bay Packers. So this one's an interesting one. The Rams should be able to beat the Bears. We'll just have to see. So right there, what we've talked about is the only team that really, home team we're talking about now, out of those four games, the only home team that seems to really have an opportunity to shut everybody down is the Seahawks. I don't think I don't think you can say, can the Bears beat the Rams? Of course they can. Can the Patriots beat the Texans? Absolutely. Can the Broncos beat the Bills? Yes. Will they? That's the question. The Bills, as we said, have the experience in postseason. Texans has the defense, keeps the Patriots out of the end zone. Niners learn and adapt from what they do when they lose, but Seattle's got to continue to be the favorite on there. Rams and the Bears. Um, this would be a seminal moment for Caleb Williams, and conversely, if Matthew Stafford can keep on keeping on the way he has been, he could be the most valuable player. So we've got some really talented people, some really talented and fun things to look forward to this weekend as the NFL reaches the divisional situation. All righty, let's move on. Major League Baseball is still waiting. There's a lot of good free agents out there, and it's been a surprisingly active time for mid-January. Several of the big names are still on the board. A new factor is driving in as teams are being more cautious on long-term deals, especially for players over 30. There's a group of mid-market teams trying to get creative, offering some shorter contracts with higher annual value to lure potential talent. Now, why is that? Well, a couple of things have happened. We know that the mainstream sports deal has gone south, okay? So teams do not know what they've got in the way of TV money coming. That's going to be a whole new situation for those teams. There's also the looming in 2027 of an actual strike. Well, actually be a lockout movement strike. So right now, it may behoove some of these players over 30 to take a pillow contract that's a one-year deal with a team that they think that fits their abilities and lets them play so that they're playing for a contract that could happen in 2027 or may not happen until 2028. Now, as baseball fans, we all hope that there's no longer a situation out there where they um, redo 1994 again, where they don't even have a season. That they give a part of a season, and they didn't get to the All Star break, and then they didn't get to a World Series. So let's hope that doesn't happen. But it's definitely something going on there. I know that the Red Sox fans are upset because Alex Bregman went to the Cubs. They added a pitcher in Suarez, good pitcher, but you know they need bats, and we'll have to see how that works out for Red Sox fans. Let's downshift now to the Australian Open. I know some people didn't even know it was happening. With all this coaches moves and all these situations where that's been dominating the headlines, we forgot that, oh, by the way, down in Melbourne they've opened the Australian Open, which of course is the first major of the year. It's also one of the first big tournaments of the year, so there's that. On the men's side, it's the usual heavyweight draw. With most people thinking that it's chalk all the way through for that one. A couple of younger stars is there. Doesn't look like that going to happen. On the women's side, Sabalenka enters as one of the favorites. I honestly believe that her power game is made for hard courts, and Melbourne is a hard court. She's in a tough draw. And Emily Radu's early round path is one of the most challenging of the tournament. So if she gets through the first week, and we're talking about Emma, she should be fine. Sabalenka is going to be in the finals unless something bizarre happens. And we all know that there was a raucous crowd down there in Melbourne. They enjoy their tennis, and they're fun to watch. And so I strongly suggest checking out ESPN. They've got all the tennis you could want to see from Australia this week. So keep your eyes on ESPN and keep your eyes on the tennis world. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's go to college football, and specifically the transfer portal. Now I'll look at some rankings. Our buddies at 24/7 Sports have put together a transfer portal ranking system. Who's winning the off season? And again, this is information from 24/7 Sports. Several powerhouse programs are reloading, not rebuilding, and that shouldn't surprise anybody because we're now in the NIL world where they can pay for veteran quarterbacks, they can plug and play an offense, they can grab big beefy offensive linemen, they can grab a defensive back who can start immediately. The real story, though, is the rise and surprise of schools that have traditionally set out of the top 20, but have landed impact players, including, former 4- and 5-star recruits, for basically getting the fresh start that they feel that they want to. The SEC, as usual, is loading up with defensive talent. The Big Ten is adding some size in the trenches. The Big 12 has quietly put together some of the most intriguing offensive hauls in the country. And the portal has become an arms race. This cycle is one of the most competitive ones we've seen. And right now, the two top winners in the portal is Texas Tech and the folks, surprisingly, at Indiana. So if you think Indiana's going away anytime soon, that Kirk Segretti is a two-and-done guy, that's not going to happen. They're going to be challenging in the Big Ten for many years to come. Texas Tech, with their infusion of petrol money there, we got a fun situation there. They're going to continue to be good out there. So your NIL money is crucial, and if it's Indiana or if it's Texas Tech, look out. Those guys are out there buying some really good talent out there. The Sony Open. Now we know that Matthew, who we sent out there, will be giving us reports hopefully tomorrow. Uh, and it's the first PGA Tour stop. It's in Hawaii, of course, as we just said. They teed off today. Actually, they just started teeing off. It's a 5-hour time difference from the East Coast to Hawaii. It's being played at the Waialae Country Club. The course rewards precision, not power, which means this field could be very much wide open. If you look at it, it's really kind of an interesting situation to be sure. The way Waialae is set up, it's set up so that it rewards you if you can play iron play. It's if you can't, then you got problems. It's one of those courses that you look at and go, what's going on here? Can I make that shot with the 7-iron, or do I? What can I do to get around it? It's one of those courses where, as I said, you can hit the ball a long way, but that's not necessarily going to help you. It's just a challenge. So let's go to the leaderboard. Early starts, as I said. Right now, Michael Kim is through 13 holes. He's down at -5. Nick Taylor is through 9 holes. He's also -5. Alex Smalley through 12 holes is -4. Looking further down the leaderboard, we've got Kurt Kiminawa. He's at 4 under through 11. Ben Griffin, 10. He's through 10. He's 4 under. Chris Gottlieb is through 10. He's 4 under. Nick Dunlap is through 8. He's 4 under. Denny McCarthy, 11. He's 3 under. John Perry is 8 through 8. He's 3 under. Austin Eckroat, he's through 13. He's 3 under. Alejandro Tosquia through 6. He's 3 under. And Bryce Garrett through 18 is, through 13 is 3 under. As we move down the list, looking for some of the star power names here. Adam Scott is 2 under, and he's through 10. And let's see if you can find some other household names in the actually, Kevin Mitchell through 13 is even par. And that's about it. We don't really see a lot of big names in Hawaii this week, but it's been the launching pad for many. A young player coming through and getting their first tour win, and then moving over to California, where things are going to get more interesting. Looks like Brooks Koepka, of course, Rory McIlroy, and those guys. McIlroy's playing in the Invitational over in Saudi Arabia. Big bucks on the line over there. And so in California, we will see most of the top PGA names. But that doesn't mean that the Sony Open doesn't have some good young talent there, and certainly worth checking out this, today and throughout the weekend, all the way to Sunday when it'll be over. It's also nice to have some primetime golf. I mean, you get to see the golf tournament in prime time, so it's kind of a fun situation there. All right. So that kind of wraps up what is an extended rundown for January 15th, 2026. We should make note that Mike Tomlin has yet to decide whether he's going into broadcasting or coaching. My guess is he's not going to coach this year. I don't think he will. I think he might take a TV job. I have a column that will be out tomorrow morning talking about he could be the next John Madden. He's that good, and so we'll see about that. But Mike's an interesting cat. He really is. He's well spoken. He's funny, sarcastic, and honest, sometimes brutally so. Uh, you can just watch, go to YouTube and just type in, you know, Mike Tomlin comments, and you'll get a chance to taste some of the his work. He's a character, and I think it's going to be fun to watch Mike if he does take the opportunity. He's 52 years old. If it were me, it's not, but if it were, I think I would opt for that TV job. He's going to get a lot of money from TV, and he could be there for decades. I don't think he wants to coach for decades. More, he's already coached for over 20 years. So, strongly feel that in the best situation for Mike, that's where he's going to be headed. So, anyway, greatly appreciate everybody dropping by. And y'all have a great Thursday. And we will be back tomorrow with plenty of playoff news for the NFL over the weekend. We'll have some, hopefully, Matt will hook up with us from Hawaii, and we'll have some fun. So until then, have a wonderful Thursday, and we will see you tomorrow, everybody. Take care.